Welcome back to another Rhino video. My name is Sam, and today I'll be showing you how to use surfaces. So for starters, we're going to begin with kind of where we left off on our curve video, with sort of a simplified version of some of those walls that we had drawn as sort of a basic idea of a floor plan, and how we can sort of start to manipulate this as a three-dimensional geometry. So we'll have surfaces on a sort of a red or like a pink layer, and our curves will keep on blue, just so we can tell them apart. And there's a few ways that you can make a surface. The first way is to extrude a curve. So for example, if we want to pull up maybe this interior face of the exterior wall, we can type extrude CRV, and that'll give us the option to sort of pull it up. And then we can set a distance of 8 feet, and there you have it, right? So now you have a surface. Alternatively, you could also just click this blue dot of the gumball and type in a value, 8 feet, or of course just pull it up however far you want it to go. But I recommend doing inputs because that way you have a more accurate result. So we'll pull that up 8 feet. You could pull up the outside wall as well. Just do the same thing, snap it to that one, do the same thing with these ones, right, and just kind of pull it up that way, as well as, and then select them all, and then we could type join to get those together, right? So now these are all just one open poly surface we see in the properties, and then if we wanted to, we could cap it, and by typing cap, if you saw that, you see right now it's open. By typing cap, it patches it together with these, with a face on either side. An alternative way of doing all that is, instead of pulling them up one at a time, you could just pull up that interior wall, select it, and then type offset surf, just like that. And what that will let you do is choose to actually offset the whole surface outside, as well as make it solid. So if you have solid as yes, you can set your distance as, I think we did 12 inches, and then hit enter, and it will pop the whole thing out and make it a solid. You'll see now that you have kind of a few different pieces to it. When it offsets, it does the corners a little differently, so you'll end up with these different sections that you can control shift click if you'd like, and that might be useful if you're trying to maybe pull something up or do something with that piece of the wall. But if you don't want those, you can select it and type merge all faces, right? And if you run that command, it will simplify it into one uniform surface that we had before. So we have that exterior wall. Let's maybe make a new layer and call it interior walls. We'll make it like a light green. Make it the current layer. And we'll do something similar for the interior. Let's say if these were maybe your center lines that you wanted for your walls, what you could do is just select one of these curves. Similarly, run an extrude CRV command, pull it up to the top. If you wanted to cut it in half, you could run a cutting plane or a cut plane. It's this one right here in the surface commands. And then you could select this one, select objects for cut planes, hit enter, start of cut plane, you can hit that one and just draw a line through it, and it'll draw a new plane that will intersect it just far enough to actually divide the object in two. And then what you could do is just type split and select the cutting object as that and hit enter. After that, now you have two separate pieces, and then you could delete the cutting plane, right? So you can see there, if you wanted this wall to have a thickness different from this wall, but you were pulling it from the same curve, you could do it that way. Alternatively, you could also just take that curve, run a split, cut it with that one, and now you have two objects. And I believe if you extrude those curves up 8 feet, that should make two separate curves as well, or two separate surfaces as well. So again, there's more than one way to do things. So let's say if we use, we'll just get that back with a duplicate edge, and set those back to our curve layer. So if we take these walls now, let's say we wanted this to be a, I don't know, a like 6-inch wall, or maybe an 8-inch wall, we could just use that, the circle on the gumball, and type in 8 inches. That'll thicken it. And maybe we wanted this to only be like a 4 or a 5-inch wall. We could do that there. All right, now you can see how you're able to sort of modify and build surfaces from curves. Great, so now if we did something similar with maybe this curve, we could pull that up to 8 feet, and then maybe pull it out 5 inches. You can just start to make different things. Then you could of course duplicate all these, move it over, and just start to place things where they should be.